So, Charlotte, are you recording with us today inside or outside your house?
I am inside of my house. Why do you want to
Is
know?
that because are you afraid to go outside? Do you know where I'm going with
Well,
this?
I have a feeling. Not today. I think it's cloudy enough that we're safe.
Would you like to tell this story that we're alluding to as you remember
Well,
it?
you're gonna have to you're gonna have to help me, but yeah. Well, what you're alluding to is when we were children, and I was nervous. I was an anxious child.
You were afraid of everything.
I was afraid of everything. And we had just, I don't know if we just learned about it in school or if we've been watching like a documentary or something, or if you guys just told me
I
that
think we
someday
just told you.
the sun was going to explode. And because yeah.
Yeah, in a
At some
few
point.
million years or whatever,
Yeah.
it'll be a red giant.
And exactly, so I guess not a rapid expansion.
Yes.
But what is an explosion anyway? and I just I think you asked later, do you want to go play outside? And I was like, oh no,
I
that's
think
okay.
maybe we better
We
stay
better
inside
stay.
today.
Very evidently in response to what you guys had told me about the sun.
Yeah, you told
And
the
to
story
this
pretty
day,
well.
Just yeah, I can't blame you. I was I was a very very easy target.
I hope.
But it's okay. I've been in therapy. I'm no longer as scared of the sun.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, if we hadn't told you about it, you would have seen it on TV or heard it on the streets or something.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly. I can't blame you. Heard it on the street. Have you heard that the sun's going to explode?
I hope
Oh.
we didn't torment you too much when we were children, but today
goodness,
we
no.
are going to be talking about the true depths of horror. So, you told me a few months ago that you really like to watch real horror movies now. Is that true?
I do, but it definitely was not like that for a very long time. That only started maybe college, where I was into it more.
So definitely
learned
not
that-
how you were, like you would not have, you were afraid of some of the horror movies that we made when we were kids, like What Lies 6 Feet Under, movies like
Hey.
that.
We rewatched that one recently. That one's still scary. That one holds up.
Well, there you go. So it's fair. But you're not so afraid anymore. And I wonder if your life trajectory matches the character Avery in On All Hallows Eve, who eventually learns not to be so scared of things.
Oh my word! There you go.
But
Probably
not in On All Hallows Eve 3, which we're going to be talking about today. I am Mark Gross.
I'm Charlotte Ferris.
And this is Scene by Scene. So we're going back to 2006, the third of 5 on All Hallows Eve movies, and the 3 friends who are the main characters of this series. So let's see. In movie 1, they go to a haunted house, get scared away, say they never came back again. In movie 2, they come back, find some magic bracelets, and defeat the evil witch's cat who runs the house. And we start with the third one. They walk into a clearing. They say something just doesn't feel right. And they come up to the door, and the characters. So we've got Martin, Peter, and Avery are the characters here. Avery rings the doorbell. So I had a little friend who really enjoyed these movies when we were young, and she was like, I don't know, 8 years younger than me, and she loved these because I guess, like, you know, they weren't really scary, but she always called them the one where Avery rings the doorbell because because Charlotte's character rings the doorbell in all of them, but after
Okay.
the first 2, you just no wait. I rang the doorbell in the first one. I rang the doorbell in the first one, and then Charlotte's character got scared, and I think that's how my
Yeah.
friend like got in her head that it was the one where Avery rings the doorbell because Avery gets scared. But anyway,
the biggest reaction.
we made it big, an unnecessarily big thing of Avery ringing the doorbell for that sake. And
that's cute.
We walk into the house, and Avery sees a jack-o'-lantern and screams as if someone just stabbed her with a knife. The biggest shriek she can muster. Peter says, "What's wrong? It's just a jack-o'-lantern." And she crouches down, and we do see a severed arm underneath the jack-o'-lantern that goes unaddressed. So I do kind of wonder if maybe this had something to do with it, but
yeah.
And anyway,
not the scariest part. No, not at all.
Avery says,
"Dear Lord,"
she thinks this house really is haunted again. And watching this, I was like, "You think?"
Yep. Like, didn't the doorbell make the
Yes.
"come in if you dare"? Like
that pre-recorded doorbell sound we had. That was another trope of the series as well.
Yep. So we should have known.
So they decide to split up, a la Scooby-Doo, and go to try and find the magic bracelets to beat the witch's cat again. Avery refuses, but while she's going on and on about how it's a bad idea and looks away, the guys just kind of walk away. And thinking she found them, Avery grabs a hand around the corner, and it turns out to be a severed arm. So, that probably would be a little scary. Definitely one of the scarier moments of the series.
Definitely.
So a door opens, and Martin walks into the cellar, and he finds a spider. You can hardly tell what it is.
I'll admit I did not know what that was.
It's a glowing spider. I still remember that decoration that we had.
Oh, man. Well, now, yes.
Meanwhile, Peter listens as the witch's cat describes how she has all the magic bracelets, including the bracelet of evil. So there you go.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the audio drama Westerly we did? We kind of adapted these and made them more serious. So it was like a box that needed 4 keys to open, and it was kind of the same concept as the magic bracelets.
That's right. That's coming back to me.
So all the Westerly, I think all of them, or almost all of them, were adapted pretty closely from the various horror movies we had made through the years.
Gotcha.
But that was a reference to this. Peter finds Avery acting afraid of a little pumpkin that's not even carved.
I was really, really proud of the fact that I could sort of cross my eyes, so that had to be featured.
It was a good eye cross, I have to say.
Yeah.
So then on their way to find Martin, they see a piano playing itself and rush away because clearly it doesn't want them there.
How did you do that? Were you just,
I think,
like pressing the keys?
Yeah, I just kind of hit them from outside the camera view.
Okay.
And the thing I find a little
spooky.
creepier is that there are pictures lined up on the piano of these characters in a house that they don't own. So, I don't know. It seems a little more creepy.
That is actually maybe the creepiest part. The house has been keeping track. Man,
and
missed opportunity.
An unintended tidbit there when we were filming.
Yeah.
Avery and
like
Peter
The Shining.
finally go into the dark cellar where they find Martin locked up by a ghost. Martin explains what happened with a redundant, "This place really is haunted," just in case that wasn't clear by now. And so Martin has a great plan, as usual, to pretend his watch is a magic bracelet that will stop the witch's cat's powers. They enter the witch's cat's lair and bluff that it's the bracelet of crystal to turn her into a crystal. She dares them to use it, and Martin says, "Abracadabra go crystal." Very inspired line there. He crosses his fingers and nothing happens. You can see my my rap because I had fallen that day in gym class playing flag football in like 6th grade and hurt my arms. So like it hurt to cross my fingers with that hand, but I do remember that.
Yeah, to whatever it takes.
The show must go on.
Yeah. I remember thinking it was because, like, a large part of the threat was that you're going to turn her into a crystal and, like, sell her for millions
That's
of
right.
dollars. That is the scariest part. She's going to be commodified.
Yes, that's what's much more frightening, and it's another commentary.
There you go.
And also an
funny.
animal rights commentary.
Yes, absolutely. Such good messaging.
Who really is the bad guy once again?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love it.
what should have been the plan the whole time is Peter sneaks around while the witch's cat is distracted and gets the other bracelets, and the three kids use love, fire, water,
easy.
electric, and earth to all together destroy the evil bracelet once and for all.
I loved this. I just
Teamwork.
once again, Peter just sneaks around. Oh man.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. What? Okay, if it's not going to ruin the magic too much, I am curious what you were using for the special effects at this point.
Oh dear. So
Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I was just discovering picture effects on the software I use as Power Director, some version of it back then, and it just effectively it's like a green screen thing. So I would make like clip art into green screen stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
basically
more
how
than
it
I
worked.
realized. Yeah.
And then some of the other effects were just kind of stock effects that the software had, like the glowing and things. The glowing colors were a glow
For the
effect.
bracelets?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I still use fundamentally on a newer version. I don't know about that. Wait till we get to the next scene.
For the age.
But I still use fundamentally the same effects on like everything special now. I just hopefully do it much better.
Yeah, I would not have realized that it was all the same.
It's just no longer like cartoonish images.
Drawn.
Yeah.
and the camera stays more still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps as well.
Yeah. Still impressive for the time, I think.
So anyway, the Bracelet of Evil is destroyed, and obviously that means that now they'll have to kill all the ghosts manually, as the witch's cat reveals. So they should have thought of this before. She no longer has her powers, and somehow just deactivating the evil bracelet would have been better. So, one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater starts playing in the background. So
a classic.
Each film always had like a Halloween pop song playing in the background during the major fight scene. And as you mentioned, we fight with an animated witch, which is killed by water, an animated pumpkin killed by electric, skeleton killed by earth, and this one shows an animated tree growing, which was very convincing, I think.
Great sound effects.
So for some reason that one needed a bigger explanation as to how it killed the ghost.
Yeah, I did wonder. I guess it was sort of the final boss, right?
Well, no, then comes the final boss, the Supreme Ghost, which Avery knows everything about. She says, if we don't kill this one, everything we've done will be for naught, of course. So
the worst delivered line in the history.
I don't know about the worst in the history, but not one of the best. So they kill it with the love bracelet, and they jump up and down. We did it. And as the happy theme music plays, which I always played the soundtrack to these just with my keyboard, kind of like a soap opera, where like it's an organist playing along as the film went on.
Yeah.
And they decide to take the magic bracelets with them, and we have the montage of decorations as the theme music plays. And of course, the story, seemingly complete, would be stretched out 2 more movies.
Yeah.
The next one being, how was it? The witch's cat is still evil, so somehow she still gets ghosts back and makes the house haunted, and then they have to make her good with a potion. And the last one, she is just decorating for a surprise Halloween party, but they think
my word,
that
that's
the house
right.
is haunted again.
Man, the
That's
last one.
the best one for sure.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I remember. Was it the fourth one where we gave her that like awful like, don't worry guys,
Yeah.
I'm all good again. Like, oh man.
Yeah, she becomes renamed Kitty from the Witch's Cat and has a high-pitched...
Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can call me Kitty.
Inspired. Man. This was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, much better than the first two. This one definitely hit more of a stride than anything else.
It did. There's always... Yes, I love the fight scene in this one with us running around the woods fighting the animated characters. But there will always be a special place in my heart for the fight scene in the first one with the Ghostbusters theme and just the constant screaming from everybody in the background.
Jumping around and arguing.
And the fog machine.
Yeah, and arguing
Oh,
whether
sorry.
it was drums or thunder that we were hearing.
The scariest parts.
That fog machine only worked that one time. I won it as a prize in like the Scholastic Book Fair or something.
Is that
it worked
what?
once?
That's
Some
that
fundraiser
makes
for
sense.
school, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that isn't too surprising, but still.
Well, there it is. That was on All Hallows Eve 3. And thanks for listening to Scene by Scene. Scene by Scene is produced by GK Music and Magic Voice Records.